God continues the Bible motivation. The unbreakable will, the mindset of the next millionaires, the awakening of the giant that already exists within you. You feel that constant uneasiness, the inner pulse that pushes you beyond the limits of sameness. When you see someone living the life of your dreams, the one that somehow you always knew could be yours, this is not envy. It is a call to your millionaire instinct, echoing from the depths of your soul and whispering, you were born to go beyond. You were called to wealth. Imagine a universe where every obstacle becomes an opportunity, where challenges become stepping stones to success. Visualize your potential as a dormant flame, waiting for the exact moment to ignite and burn down all barriers. This flame, your indomitable spirit, is the essence of what great billionaires know. True wealth begins in the mind. Throughout this text, we will uncover the mental code that differentiates those who only dream from those who achieve great things. It is not just about accumulating money or luxury, but about creating a legacy, building a destiny based on discipline, vision, and immediate action. Every word here is an invitation for you to refuse to accept mediocrity. It is time to break the bonds of conformity and grab life with both hands. This is not a simple manual. It is a call to awaken the giant that lies within you, to reprogram your mind and transform each dream into a tangible reality. So, take a deep breath, open your heart and your mind, because the instructions that follow are the key to unlocking potential that is about to revolutionize your world. 1. The awakening of the sleeping giant. Remember your childhood, those moments when the impossible seemed pulverizable with just a thought. Perhaps you remember a time when everything was possible, and every dream was an adventure that unfolded before your curious eyes. As the years passed, routine and circumstances dimmed that glow. The doubts, the no's you heard, the limits imposed by society. All of these elements slowly tried to extinguish the inner light. But inside each of us, the remnants of that sleeping giant remain, a force that yearns to awaken and claim its place in the pantheon of winners. Imagine yourself at a crossroads, where each step you take can lead you to a world of abundance or to the labyrinths of stagnation. The awakening of the giant is not an act of luck, but of choice. It is a courageous decision to leave the cocoon of insecurity and rise towards the extraordinary. This is a time to face the scars of the past head-on, to regain faith in yourself, and to commit to a new version, one that understands that limitations are just shadows cast by fear. Have you ever felt like something great was waiting for you? Perhaps deep down, you know that the world was designed to reward those who dare to believe and act. This is a turning point. When you stop being afraid of failure and embrace the opportunity that every mistake brings. Every fall becomes a lesson, and every challenge, a chance to grow. Awakening the sleeping giant is an ongoing process, a journey that requires self-knowledge, courage, and, above all, the unbreakable will transform each obstacle into a step towards excellence. Remember, the giant does not hide. It is in your determination, in the persistence to start over after each stumble, and in the audacity to challenge the status quo. In this chapter, we invite you to rekindle that inner flame that, even though timid, has never gone out. Allow yourself to feel again all the energy and excitement of living without limits, understanding that each beat of your heart is a rhythm toward success. And on this journey, discover that the greatest enemy is not outside of you, but within, in the fear that you insist on feeding. Awaken the giant, and the world will bow before the transformative power of your spirit. The unbreakable will, the engine of success. At the heart of every success story is a powerful force, the unbreakable will. This determination, this conviction that nothing, not even the greatest adversity, can stop your progress, is the engine that drives the world's great entrepreneurs and dreamers. It is a flame that burns and, fuel by fuel, feeds the success machine, moving it relentlessly toward your goals. When you decide to take action, no matter how small the first step is, you are beginning a journey of no return, in which each action taken solidifies your belief that it is possible to achieve the impossible. The unbreakable is not shaken by the first obstacle or by the countless no's impressed by collective fear. It is a deep conviction that you were not born to live in the shadow of conformity. You were born to shine, to leave an indelible mark on history. This determination is sculpted in daily persistence. It manifests itself when you get up early, even when your body wants more sleep. When you decide to keep trying, even after several falls. When each failure becomes a learning experience that strengthens you for the challenges ahead. The next millionaires and billionaires are not defined only by the brilliance of their successes, but by the rigor with which they cultivate this that drives them to move forward regardless of the circumstances. Visualize each morning the moment in which you decide that today will be the day to transform pain into strength, doubt into certainty, the impossible into reality. Each thought directed towards action, each small victory, adds to and strengthens this iron that resides within you. The mindset of success is a choice, the choice to never, ever give up. It is the certainty that, no matter how tortuous the path, each step taken with conviction brings you closer to your dreams. And it is in this constant metamorphosis that the true essence of winners lies. Discipline, resilience, and determination form an unbeatable triad, capable of transforming even the most devastating setbacks into impulses to reach unimaginable heights. The secret of the next millionaires is simple, but not trivial: to raise the power of an unshakable will to the point where it becomes the very universe in which you live. If you adopt this mentality, you will discover that there is no barrier capable of stopping your ascension. Stand up, strengthen yourself, and allow the unbreakable will to guide your destiny. Breaking the chains of fear and mediocrity. The greatest prison many of us face is not economic or social, but mental. It is the shackles of fear and mediocrity that silently prevent us from taking the leap into the extraordinary. Fear, in all its forms. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of change, acts like an invisible chain, limiting the reach of our dreams. While many settle for security of what they already know, true winners choose to challenge their own limits and transform what seems impossible into tangible achievements. Facing fear head-on is the first and most vital step in breaking these chains. You need to understand that every feeling of fear is, in fact, a sign that you're on the verge of something big, a new frontier that, if crossed, will take you to levels of achievement you never imagined. The billionaires and millionaires who inspire the world today have, countless times, gone through moments of uncertainty. However, instead of retreating, they face the unknown with conviction that success is not reserved for those who settle, but for those who risk themselves body and soul. Mediocrity, on the other hand, is the safe haven for those who do not wish to fight against the status quo. It seduces with the illusion that conformity is comfort, but in reality, it imprisons the mind and prevents evolution. Every time you choose the easy path, every time you choose not to venture outside your comfort zone, you feed this force that undermines your potential. True growth requires boldness. It is necessary to break with pre-established patterns, challenge the opinions of others, and, above all, believe that you are destined for great things. In this chapter, the invitation is for you to free yourself from these bonds. Imagine yourself as a warrior who, wielding the sword of courage, cuts the chains that bind him. Visualize each obstacle as a step that propels you upward instead of a wall that blocks you. You need to transform fear into a powerful fuel for action and mediocrity into a springboard for success. This change in perspective is the essence of what we call the millionaire mindset. The conviction that, regardless of the difficulties, your destiny is to transcend imposed limits and embrace the extraordinary. Break the chains. Free yourself of what binds you, and allow the innate strength of your spirit to lead you toward a full and abundant existence. You have within you the ability not only to dream, but to build incredible realities. When fear stops being an obstacle and becomes an invitation to challenge, the impossible becomes just another step to be overcome. Embrace this transformation, revitalize your faith in yourself, and commit to the relentless pursuit of excellence. Mental reprogramming for wealth. It's time to dive into the depths of your mind and carve new paths to success. Mental reprogramming is one of the most powerful tools used by great visionaries, a continuous process of transformation in which you redefine your beliefs, habits, and strategies. This journey begins with the recognition that thoughts shape reality. If you persist in the same routine of limiting thoughts, the results will be the same as always. On the other hand, by choosing to feed your mind with positive affirmations and vivid visualizations of success, you are, in effect, programming your brain to achieve unimaginable goals. Visualize your mind as a garden. If you allow weeds, fears, doubts, and self-limiting beliefs to proliferate, there will be minimal space for the flowers of success. But if you dedicate yourself to mental gardening, removing every obstacle and nourishing your thoughts with images of victory and prosperity, you'll soon see your inner universe bloom in a splendid way. Visualization techniques, meditation, and daily affirmations are not passing fads, but solid tools that, when applied consistently, transform your perception and, consequently, your reality. Start your day with a meditation focused on gratitude and recognizing potential that pulses within you. Imagine every cell in your body vibrating with positive energy, paving the way for success. Create powerful affirmations, phrases that echo the certainty that wealth and abundance are an essential part of your destiny. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am destined for greatness. And feel this truth take root deeply in your consciousness. In addition, reading biographies and inspiring stories is essential to reprogramming your mind. By learning about the challenges and victories of those who have paved the way for success, you internalize strategies and establish emotional connections with the idea that nothing is impossible. This immersion in the experiences of great leaders reinforces a conviction that, with discipline and courage, you can transform every thought into a concrete action that brings you closer to your final goal. Reprogram your mindset so that you see each day as a new opportunity to rebuild yourself and create a new reality from the inside out. Become aware that each thought is a seed. What you plant today will define tomorrow's harvest. What seeds of wealth, wisdom, and determination do you want to see blossom in your future? It is the power to choose that makes transformation possible. Mental reprogramming is a foundation on which the empire of success is built. And this construction begins with a simple yet profound act of believing in your own ability to transcend. The journey of self-knowledge and discipline. Every great empire begins with a single foundation: self-knowledge. To achieve true wealth, you need to delve deep within yourself, understand your potential, and identify the areas that need to be strengthened. The path to abundance is not a road paved with guarantees, but rather a trail that requires discipline, constancy, and an unwavering commitment to your own growth. On this journey, discipline becomes a bridge that connects intention to achievement. It is a daily practice of aligning thoughts, emotions, and actions with the goal of transforming dreams into achievements. It is not an oppressive rigidity, but freedom achieved through hard work, where each positive habit, each ritual of self-knowledge, guarantees a firmer step toward success. Dedicate moments each day to reflect on your decisions, recognize your victories, and learn from your setbacks. This continuous practice is what sets true winners apart. Those who, even in the face of adversity, maintain clarity and determination to move forward. Self-confidence and self-knowledge go hand in hand. By understanding your limitations, you also discover your hidden strengths. Each challenge overcome is an opportunity to get to know yourself better, to realize that true wealth lies in the ability to transform weaknesses into levers for growth. Build a routine of constant learning, where reading, reflection, and internal dialogue become the pillars of your personal development. Identify what you are passionate about and put energy into what makes your heart sing. Let passion guide each action, because it is through passion that discipline becomes pleasure and routine, a path to evolution. Daily tasks may seem small compared to the magnitude of your dreams, but they are where the secret to great success lies. Be disciplined in organizing your schedule, value time, and learn to prioritize what really matters. Every minute invested with purpose accumulates value and brings you closer to achieving your goals. Self-knowledge is not a static state, but a dynamic process, which grows stronger every day that you choose to leave your comfort zone and face challenges with courage and determination. Allow yourself moments of introspection, moments when you connect with your true self. Review your goals, adjust your strategies, and celebrate each small victory. This internal journey is the foundation for external transformation. By knowing yourself deeply, you become capable of making assertive decisions, even when the external world seems chaotic. This inner clarity is what drives determined action, courageous decision-making, and ultimately, building the legacy you so desire. Strategies of the next millionaires. Dreaming is the first step. Taking action is a leap that transforms these dreams into reality. In the world of millionaires, there are several strategies that when combined with discipline and focus, allow the rise and consolidation of an empire. This chapter is an ode to action. Here, you'll find not only theoretical secrets, but also practices that great leaders apply daily to transform opportunities into achievements. First, it is vital to define clear and measurable objectives. These are not vague desires, but rather specific goals that can be monitored and adjusted as progress is made. Write down your objectives, divide them into stages, and monitor each progress. Use tools, if necessary, to manage your time and priorities. Clearly defining goals is what guides your initiatives and ensures that each action has a defined purpose. Another fundamental strategy is to invest in knowledge. The next millionaires know that knowledge is the ticket to transformative opportunities. Train yourself, take courses, read books, connect with mentors, and learn from those who have already walked the path you want to follow. Each new skill acquired is another piece in the puzzle of success. Networking, the ability to build solid relationships, is also essential. Surround yourself with people who share the same vision, who challenge you to be better, and who can, together, create synergies capable of transforming dreams into tangible realities. Resource management, whether time, money, or energy, must be done with precision and strategy. Learn to identify where your attention is being wasted and redirect that focus to areas that really matter. Life is limited and every second counts. Develop the ability to say no to what does not add value to your path. This ability to prioritize is one of the hallmarks of great leaders, who know exactly where to invest their efforts to achieve the best results. In addition, never underestimate the power of innovation and adaptability. In a world that is constantly changing, the ability to reinvent yourself and take advantage of new opportunities can be the difference between success and oblivion. Always seek to update your knowledge. Stay alert to trends and be willing to try new methods. The next millionaires saw transformations as allies, adapting their strategies and innovating whenever necessary. The strategies for achieving wealth go beyond mere physical or intellectual effort. They also reside in the ability to organize, plan, and execute. Create a detailed plan and, most importantly, act every day to fulfill it. Remember that each action, no matter how small it may seem, makes up the great puzzle of success. Be methodical in analyzing the results, adjust the sails whenever necessary, and, above all, maintain a positive and resilient mindset, even in the face of unforeseen events. And finally, celebrate each victory. Recognizing your own progress strengthens motivation and encourages perseverance. Each step taken in the right direction is a reason to celebrate, because you are, effectively, shaping the future you have always wanted. The combination of these strategies, supported by a winning mindset and an unbreakable will, is what makes the rise of the next millionaires possible. Turn knowledge into action and see how opportunities will multiply before you. Connecting with the divine, align purpose and action. There is an invisible force that, for many, represents the essence of what we call destiny. This force is a divine. Many billionaires and spiritual leaders claim that when they connect with something greater than themselves, they find the clarity and inspiration they need to make decisions with wisdom and compassion. In this chapter, we will explore the intimate connection between spiritual purpose, faith, and creating an abundant and prosperous life. When you align with a greater vision, with a mission that transcends the material, all the pieces of the puzzle begin to fall into place. This connection with the divine does not mean giving up on desires for success or ambition. Rather, it is a guiding thread that transforms the pursuit of wealth into a journey of self-transformation and service. When you realize that your true mission is to contribute to a greater good, every decision becomes an expression of gratitude and commitment to life. Cultivating this connection requires time, reflection, and a deep understanding of your most genuine beliefs. Whether through meditation, prayer, or a moment of silence and introspection, this contact with the sacred renews your energy and clarifies your purpose. When you understand that external riches are a reflection of what is inside you, you begin to value each achievement as a testament to your spiritual evolution. This awareness allows you to remain firm and serene, even when faced with challenges, knowing that each obstacle is an opportunity to grow. Faith, whatever form it manifests in your life, is a powerful ally. It reminds you that even when human reason seems exhausted, there's a higher force working in your favor. This certainty is capable of transforming the anguish of failure into fuel for action, encouraging you to move forward with bravery and determination. Wealth, then, ceases to be just an accumulation of goods and becomes a symbol of a life with meaning, a tangible expression of your commitment to a greater purpose. By uniting your practical vision with spirituality, you create a fertile environment for prosperity to flourish. Every action becomes seen as an offering to life, a celebration of all that is sacred and beautiful. This mindset makes success as much a matter of strategy as of faith, a harmonious dance between human effort and divine inspiration. Connect with this dimension, allow the divine to guide your choices, and see how each challenge becomes an opportunity to manifest your excellence. The power of action and unwavering perseverance. True transformation doesn't happen just when we think big. It happens when we act. The path to wealth is not paved with good intentions, but with concrete actions day after day. Perseverance is what separates those who dream from those who truly build empires. Every decision made, every effort invested, every mistake that is converted into a learning experience is part of the relentless journey of those who refuse to give up. In this chapter, we will explore how the power of action combines with perseverance to create a virtuous cycle of success. Imagine an Olympic athlete who trains tirelessly, battling injuries, doubts, and fatigue. This athlete knows that each training session is essential to the ultimate victory. Likewise, each action, even the smallest, adds up and strengthens your path to prosperity. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. But more important than the first step is a continuation, the daily commitment to sacrifice immediate comfort for the sake of a great tomorrow. Action is the antidote to fear and procrastination. Instead of allowing yourself to be paralyzed by what if, choose to act. Create systems that push you to break out of inertia. Establish routines, set daily goals, and above all, celebrate small progress. Every victory, no matter how small, is a reminder of how far you can go when you put your hands to work. It is in this momentum, in this transformative energy, that your destiny is rewritten. Unwavering perseverance is the guiding thread of this journey. It is tested in moments of adversity, when obstacles seem insurmountable and the temptation to give up is almost irresistible. In these moments, it is important to remember that true success is not a linear path, but a series of ups and downs that, when understood, become invaluable lessons. Get up after every fall. Learn from your mistakes. Adjust your sails and keep moving forward. With each adversity you overcome, you become stronger, more resilient, and better prepared for future challenges. Above all, understand that taking action is, in itself, an act of faith, an unshakable belief in your ability to turn dreams into reality. Allow yourself to make mistakes, but never allow yourself to stop. The strength of action, combined with tireless perseverance, is what will make each effort pay off with extraordinary results. Inspiring stories, lessons from the giants. Nothing inspires as much as learning about the paths taken by those who have already reached the top. In this chapter, we will look at real-life examples of people who faced unimaginable challenges, transformed their lives, and built lasting empires. Their stories are not just records of achievements, but living manuals on how determination, courage, and unwavering can open doors to a future full of possibilities. Think of those businessmen and entrepreneurs who started from scratch, often in conditions that would make anyone give up, but who, through a singular vision and a commitment to excellence, revolutionized entire industries. Each of them faced moments of doubt, times when failure seemed like the only option, but they never let themselves be discouraged. They turned every obstacle into an opportunity, every rejection into an impulse to innovate. These stories, filled with sacrifice, sweat, and, above all, passion, serve as reminders that success is not a gift reserved for a privileged few. It is the property of those who dare to fight tooth and nail for their dreams. In these narratives, we find valuable lessons. The importance of resilience, the need for a bold mindset, and, above all, the certainty that each challenge overcome is another step towards greatness. The stories of those who defied the odds show us that the journey to wealth is made up of conscious choices, planned accidents, and a daily commitment to personal transformation. They teach us that even when the path seems uncertain, there's always a way to turn things around. if we are willing to take risks, learn, and persevere. Allow yourself to be touched by these stories. Let each example inspire not only admiration, but also action. The motivation to write your own story of overcoming and success. The lessons of giants are not confined to the past. They live in every decision you make and in every dream you dare to realize. Open your eyes to the signs the universe sends you and know that, just like those who came before, you too can leave your mark on the world. The legacy of Unbreakable Will. As we move toward the end of this journey, it is time to reflect on the legacy you wish to create. The legacy of a true millionaire is not just about the accumulation of material wealth, but about the profound transformation it generates in your own life and the lives of those around you. When you choose to live with an unbreakable will, you are not just building a fortune. You are setting an example, inspiring others to believe in the possibility of a great future. Unbreakable will is not just the inner force that drives us to build empires or transform our very existence. It is a living legacy we leave behind, measured not only in material achievements, but in the inspiration and example we offer to those around us. As we move forward on our journey, we are invited to reflect on how this will shape our destiny and connects us to universal forces, both in the quantum realm and in the Word of God. Quantum physics teaches us that the universe is a field of infinite possibilities. At microscopic levels, nothing is fixed or predestined in an absolute way. On the contrary, reality behaves in a fluid manner, governed by uncertainty and the influence of the observer. This phenomenon, known as the observer effect, reveals to us that the act of paying attention, of focusing the mind on a goal, can collapse multiple probabilities into a single tangible reality. Just as in quantum mechanics, where particles can exist in several states simultaneously until they are measured, human potential also finds itself in a kind of superposition. It is the unbreakable that functions as the measure of existence, transforming abstract possibilities into trajectories of real and tangible success. As physicist Henry Stapp pointed out, the human mind, when interacted with the quantum field, can influence the unfolding of events in ways that classical science cannot even foresee. This idea, at first glance, may seem abstract, but its practical application is remarkable. When someone decides with firm determination to break with limiting paradigms and embrace the infinity of possibilities, that person is consciously activating a power similar to that of quantum forces. Each thought, each intention, acts as a micro-event that is connected to a vast network of probabilities. The legacy of the unbreakable will then become the manifestation of this process, where confidence and purpose generate real and profound changes. It is not just about having good intentions, but about transforming these intentions into actions that reverberate, like waves that propagate in a quantum medium, altering the pattern of reality around them. In the same way, the Bible presents us with an inspiring perspective on the nature of will and faith. In Philippians 4 verse 13, we are reminded that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, emphasizing that, with divine strength, no barrier is insurmountable. This statement is not a mere motivational encouragement. It is based on the idea that our connection with the divine endows us with superior energy and resilience. God's word teaches us that when we align our will with His, we open doors to possibilities that transcend human logic. In Jeremiah 29 verse 11, we read, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." This promise underscores that our legacy, when grounded in an unbreakable will align with God's direction, can not only transform our lives, but also inspire and reshape reality for everyone around us. The synthesis of these two universes, the quantum and the spiritual, is extraordinarily powerful. Just as quantum physics shows that observation and intention can direct the flow of events, the faith described in the Bible confirms that true change comes from an unshakable heart and trust in a higher power. Both fields point to an internal transformative force, the conviction that it is possible, even in the face of the most immense challenges, to transcend apparent limitations and create a new reality. We can even visualize the unbreakable will as an energy field, similar to the quantum field suggested by science, which is activated when we dedicate ourselves with all our being to a greater purpose. Each determined action, each dream nurtured, and each obstacle overcome becomes a thread that weaves a fabric of our legacy. This vibrant energy, when fueled by solid faith, has the potential to transform not only the individual trajectory, but also the community, inspiring others to seek excellence, overcoming, and prosperity. The legacy of a true millionaire in life, one that is measured not only by numbers, but by transformation and positive impact, is built from this balance between the knowledge of what is possible and the faith that sustains the human spirit. The unbreakable drives us to break through the barriers imposed by fear and mediocrity, making room for innovation, for breaking paradigms, and for rebuilding routines and consciences. And it is precisely this fusion between scientific knowledge and divine revelation that invites us to look to the future with enthusiasm and purpose. We are called to see each challenge as an opportunity to align our internal energy with universal laws, and thus leave a legacy that will last beyond our time. When science reminds us of malleability of the universe, and faith fills us with unshakable confidence, we have the necessary elements to build a great future. For those seeking inspiration, know that both the mysteries revealed by quantum physics and the centuries-old teachings of the Bible reiterate that the human will, when anchored in the determination to transcend limits and in communion with a greater purpose, becomes immune to adversity. This resilience is what shapes true legacy, a legacy that is not limited to the accumulation of wealth, but materializes in each transformed life, in each inspired mind, and in each dream that becomes reality. And so, even when the winds of uncertainty blow strong, the unbreakable will persist, guided by a combination of scientific insights and divine wisdom. This combination creates a solid foundation for facing the challenges of existence, stimulating innovation, creativity, and personal growth. Each moment of overcoming is a celebration of our capacity to transcend, to access levels of consciousness that few dare to explore. As you close this chapter, embrace this idea. The legacy of Unbreakable is just the beginning of an even greater journey. It sets the stage to the next stage, where we will explore in depth what it means to have unwavering determination and live by solid values. Soon, we will dive into the theme of determination and values, where we will see how these pillars, when combined with irrepressible, will build a foundation for a life filled with meaning, ethics, and ultimate fulfillment. Get ready, because the journey continues. The strength of your will and the courage to live by high principles are the fuel that will transform dreams into impactful realities. This transition invites us to reflect. Just as will, determination, and personal values create a foundation of everything we are, the next chapter promises to deepen this vital connection. The universe is vast, and your destiny, shaped by these forces, is only beginning to reveal its infinite possibilities. That is why staying strong is so important, because the inner revolution that is coming will bring you new discoveries, and soon we will move on to the essence of determination and values. Imagine a future where your determination and values reverberate for generations. Every sacrifice, every obstacle overcome, forms the foundation of a legacy that transcends material and becomes an inspiration for those who seek success. The true legacy of the next millionaires is measured not only in numbers, but in the positive impact that their actions generate in the community, family, and, above all, society. It is living proof that a life guided by a high purpose and solid principles can transform the world, because your determination and values will inevitably reverberate for generations. We live in a world in constant transformation, where the only certainty that endures is the inner flame that each of us carries. This flame is fueled by determination, that tireless strength that drives us to fight against adversity, and by the solid values that define and inspire us. When you cultivate an unshakable will and live according to authentic principles, we are not just building a momentary legacy, but planting seeds that will flourish in future generations. Imagine a future where your descendants see your courageous choices as an inspiring example. Each challenging decision, each obstacle overcome, becomes a milestone that reverberates through time, illuminating the path for those who come after. This impact is not caused by the mere accumulation of material goods, but by the transformative power of a life lived with passion and integrity. Great leaders, thinkers, and heroes of history are not remembered only for their superficial achievements, but for the legacy of faith, courage, and values that they perpetuated for centuries. But why do so many hesitate to leave this lasting mark? Often fear, that paralyzing and often invisible feeling, stands between us and the desire to change the world. The fear of failure, insecurity in the face of the unknown, and the fear of not being remembered can be seemingly insurmountable barriers. However, it is precisely when we face these fears head-on that true metamorphosis occurs. By overcoming each obstacle and persevering, you not only strengthen your own journey, but also generate waves of inspiration that spread like a powerful echo through generations. Determination is the vital engine that drives every action. It manifests itself in the moments when you decide to fight, even when the odds seem against you, when the comfort conformity tempts you to give up. Each courageous choice transforms the reality around you, creating a domino effect that shapes futures and incites change. In this way, perseverance becomes a living message that nothing, not even the most intense challenges, can dim the glow of true values. Our values are the pillars that support this inner strength. They define who we are and guide every step we take. By maintaining an ethical and consistent stance, you not only build a personal narrative of success, but also inspire society to follow a path of honor and respect. It is an indisputable truth. Genuine values, when practiced with integrity, take on a life of their own and inspire others to replicate this transformative behavior. Think about the power of the teachings that are passed down from generation to generation in oral tradition and in examples of lives that, even in the face of adversity, always kept the ideal of justice, courage, and loyalty alive. The legacy you leave behind is not limited to goals achieved, but to the influence you have on those around you. Each act of integrity, each triumph in the face of adversity, pulses as a reminder that determination can move mountains. This energy, when shared, creates a powerful current that crosses barriers of time and collective memory. Thus, history becomes living proof that values and tireless willpower have the power to transform the world, not in a passing way, but in a lasting and vibrant way. It is important to remember that, although the path is full of challenges, each battle won enhances your story. Vulnerability, recognizing your weaknesses and fighting against them, paradoxically becomes a source of strength. After all, it is through facing fear that you prove your courage and solidify your commitment to what you believe in. Letting the light of your values illuminate the path of others is an act of love and responsibility, a true internal revolution that expands beyond the limits of your own being. As you follow this path, your determination becomes a message that passes from father to son, from mentor to disciple, and instills in each new generation the certainty that the impossible is just a barrier to be overcome. The legacy you build today has the power to inspire profound changes, create a network of positive influences that are perpetuated and renewed with each cycle of life. And as your determination resonates and your values leave an indelible mark on time, the next stage of this transformative journey emerges. Prepare your heart and mind, because soon we will explore how action, when integrated and driven by genuine passion, is the final component that converts dreams into concrete achievements. The ability to act with integrity and passion, uniting each effort in gestures that lead to success, is the next great step in your personal The time has come to close this cycle of revelations and invitations. You have read, reflected, and certainly felt the pulsating energy of a grand destiny that lies before you. Now it is time to act. Stand up, gather your courage, and transform each word of this script into action. The opportunity to rewrite your future is right before your eyes. Every second counts, and each decision is a step towards building the life you have always deserved. In the end, remember, true wealth is not only in the accumulated goods, but in the journey you take, the lessons learned, and the transformative impact you generate along the way. This is a time to awaken the sleeping giant, to break the chains of fear and embrace your destiny with an unbreakable will. May this be the beginning of a new era for you, an era of courage, resilience, and above all, abundance. With every word, with every action, you are shaping a new paradigm, ready to inspire, motivate, and revolutionize your reality. The mindset of the next millionaires has already been revealed to you. Now, it is up to you to transform this knowledge into a driving force that will change the course of your existence forever. If you've made it this far, it means that, in some way, a spark of change has already been lit within you. Allow this light to illuminate paths that once seemed dark, and let each challenge become an opportunity to show the strength of your spirit. Don't wait for luck to knock on your door. Create your own luck with determination. perseverance, and, above all, action. The universe rewards the bold and passionate who refuse to accept the limitations imposed by mediocrity. This is your moment, your declaration of freedom and wealth. Transform every second into an opportunity to create a legacy that will inspire generations. Stand up and conquer your space. Because you were born to live beyond limits, to succeed, to create a unique story marked by unbreakable will and decisive action. The future is yours to shape, and the power to transform your reality lies only in you. And God in His infinite mercy will always be on your side. In Jeremiah 29 verses 11 to 13 says, "For I know the thoughts I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a desired end. Then you will seek me, you will pray to me, and I will listen to you, and I will be found by your voice, says the Lord. Then I will change your luck." Jeremiah 29 verses 11 to 13 brings us a powerful and comforting promise. God has thoughts of peace for us, plans of hope, and a future full of purpose. In times of uncertainty, when difficulties seem to surround us and the path seems cloudy, we must remember these words and trust that the Lord is preparing something greater for our lives. No matter what challenges we face, He invites us to seek Him, to pray with faith, and to trust in His answer. God is not indifferent to our pain. He hears us, sees us, and guides us with love and mercy. His promise to change our fortunes is not just a figure of speech, but an eternal truth that manifests itself in those who trust in Him with all their hearts. If you feel lost, unmotivated, or without strength, remember, the Creator of the universe has wonderful plans for you. Seek Him sincerely. Give Him your worries and allow His peace to fill your soul. The journey may be difficult, but the certainty that God is by your side makes each step lighter and full of hope. Trust and persevere, because the best is yet to come. Search God with all your heart, and thank you for watching to the end. This proves that you are on the right path. Do you want to check if you have already subscribed? Tell me here and share this video with someone who God has shown you. Multiply, share, and thank. May God bless you. And until the next video, God continues the Bible motivation.